Hi, guys.
This is the Experience Pros radio show with business revolutionaries Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Experience Pros radio show with Angel and Eric. Thank you again for tuning in. This is the home of positive business talk, and we are positively thrilled that you are part of today's program.
And our co-host with us today and from Miami, actually he's a global expert because he travels all around the globe. It's Rey Perez Authority branding expert. Ray, so excited to have you in with us.
Thank you for having me, guys.
You know, Ray, it's been a pleasure having you in the program. If for no other reason than you are you just this magnetic personality that gets people aware that they too have access to some phenomenal results, and all they got to do is dial it in.
That's right.
Let's talk a little bit about something that you are an expert at, and that is referral marketing.
Yes.
Referral marketing. Everybody wants, we say word of mouth is the best kind of marketing that there is. Angel and I have been talking about it for almost 10 years now, and we all agree. But the Word of Mouth Marketing Association says this, that only 13% of all business is generated by word of mouth. Wow. If you want a piece of that pie, we got to figure out how to do it and how to do it effectively.
All right, Ray, what do you think?
I got the process, and it's, everybody tries different things and everybody feels that they have this system, but I really do believe that I've cracked the code, and I did it for myself, first and foremost, and now through our branding and marketing program, we teach other entrepreneurs and business owners to do exactly the same thing. But before I dive into how to get more referrals, I think the number one thing to understand is that you first have to establish your expert authority brand, as we like to call it, which builds trust, credibility, and expertise.
Right.
If you want more referrals. Because without that, without you being someone of value and of quality positioning in the world, not as many people are going to be open to referring you. Does that make sense?
It makes great sense. And so we own a piece of this before, rather than say, okay, I just want everybody to go out and start referring me. We have to give them something of value to refer. This
is probably the biggest mistake that small business owners and entrepreneurs make is they put the egg before the chicken.
100%.
Right.
I could teach you my entire process, and everyone listening on this radio, Facebook Live, everywhere can go out and do it. But if they haven't done all the steps prior of creating that brand or that expert authority brand, like we like to call it,
right,
they're not going to be as effective. And they're going to say, oh, this doesn't work. And it's not that it doesn't work. They're just not following all the steps in the process.
And we do. We want to skip ahead. Right? How important really is that? But it's what creates this synergy to make the referrals possible.
Correct. And I wish I had the time to dive into the whole branding part, but if you want to learn how to create your expert authority brand, go to my website, rayperez360.com. Send me a message. Let me know that you heard me on the Experience Pros Talk Show, and I will send you the full 1-hour presentation of how to build your expert authority brand.
All right.
Because once you do that, now you can follow this referral system that I've created. And I don't like to use the word referrals. I like to use the word introductions.
Okay.
So I do like to receive referrals,
yes,
but I don't ask them to refer me. I ask them to introduce me, because just that concept alone and just that language makes a complete difference. Because if you're going to refer me someone, there's an implied endorsement, but also sale in that referral.
Right.
I think, and then we get a little wiggy, I think, sometimes about that.
Of course,
right?
People love to buy, but they hate to be what?
Sold.
Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to refer you someone, opposed to I'm going to introduce you to someone, is there a difference? Can you hear the difference? I want to refer you to, or I want to introduce you to.
The introduction is easy.
You said the key word.
It's easy listening. Right.
The main reason that most people don't get the referrals is because it's work. It's a pain. It's not easy.
Okay, so
no more referrals. Now we're making introductions, and and I think we like to naturally do that.
Of course we do. It's natural what human beings do.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't naturally refer one another, but we do naturally introduce people.
Okay, but now I'm having a train wreck in my head, folks. if we've got this situation where we're introducing, how do I then say, if you introduce me to somebody and they do business with me, I will pay you this much money? You know, that normal referral fee.
Well, that comes afterwards, right?
Okay.
Because first we just have to have people to be open to introducing others that can benefit from our services.
Right.
And you hear that language, right?
Yeah, right.
Would you be open to introducing me to someone that could benefit from our services? So now your customer is thinking in their mind, who could I introduce them to that could benefit? So they're doing two things. Number one, they are qualifying your perfect customer.
Mm-hmm.
What most people don't realize is everyone in their mental bank has a computer in their brain that can find that perfect customer for you. All they got to do is think a little bit.
Right.
And all we're looking for is one. And the reason I only ask for one is because if every customer referred one and every referral referred one, would you ever run out of referrals?
Not likely. In fact, you'd probably run out of bandwidth.
Well, this will happen. And this happened to me. And this has happened to a couple of my clients, which is a good problem. There's a lot of people out there that would love the problem and say, I have too many leads.
Right.
I have too many business conversations. But again, the wording and how you do it is important. So number one, you're going to make an introduction. Number two, you want to control how you're being introduced. And that's for two reasons. Number one is because if you're not properly edified by the person who's introducing you, then the person who's getting introduced doesn't know who you are. And there is not enough value built up for them to have a reason to actually want to engage with you.
So how do we make sure that they're properly, do I give them a script here?
Yes.
Oh.
Exactly. So let me ask you this question. What is the number one form of communication for most people?
Email.
Phone.
You think the number one form of communication is email?
Talking? I don't know.
Okay, well, let me ask you
a trick question.
Well, again, let me give you multiple choice, make it easy for Eric. So between phone call, text, and email, which do you think people prefer to use the most? Or which is the most personal?
Well,
How about that?
Most personal is going to be the phone call.
The phone call?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think people use text.
Perfect.
Always.
And it's probably the second most personal,
Yeah.
right? So the reason is text is the perfect way to create introductions because people are used to using it, and it's the next thing most personal to a phone call.
Okay, but
Do
you know the answer?
Well, I was just thinking that if we want to help them edify us and give them the right words, rather than giving a script that they would say on the phone that would be awkward, maybe perhaps we give them something they could cut and paste or put into a text message.
That's exactly what we do. We actually text the person who's going to refer us or introduce us to the other person.
Yeah.
And we say copy and paste and send a three-way group text message.
Okay, that was going to be my question.
Yes.
Was
yes.
do it in a three-way.
Sorry, I should have stepped back.
Group message.
Because, and here's the thing, email's impersonal, and email's very businessy.
I think so too.
So if you're sending an introduction email, you're back to sales again.
But Ray, we need more sales.
And correct, but introductions, business is built on relationships.
Yes.
So first create the relationship, then the business, then the sale will come.
Okay.
Most people try to get the sale before
Yes.
they even build the relationship.
Right? Even getting the referral before they built the brand. Like we try to do this all backwards, and then we say it quote unquote
Doesn't work, but
it's because there's a sequence.
It's user error.
Yeah.
So I know we have a few minutes left.
A lot of room for user error here.
Yes.
We got 2 minutes. Go for it.
All right, great. So we're going to create an introduction. We're going to ask them to do it in a three-way text message. That way we keep the playing field leveled. Because if someone gives you a person's phone number and says, call this person, they'll be great for your service, and you call them, you just change the level of positioning and power.
Correct.
And everything in business and everything in this world is all about a power play.
Yes.
If you call them, they feel like you want something from them or you need something. And then they're going to push you off. They're going to reschedule. They're going to keep on because they feel that you need more. And it's going to get to a point where you're almost begging for their business. So a three-way text message eliminates all that, keeps the playing field flat. And then you get to thank the person through that three-way text. Thanks for introducing me. Very nice to meet you, so-and-so. And then the process starts. And let me just give you what the script sounds like.
Yeah.
Because the language is the most important thing. So number one, we say, I'd like to introduce you to, for example, Rey Perez. He is a global branding expert. I think he could be a great resource for you.
You.
People love to have resources.
Of course.
I think you should connect.
Not saying I think he can help you.
help is the worst word you can ever use in an introduction. Why? Do you guys need help?
No, I got this.
No, actually, you do need help.
I desperately need help. I'm that
But
guy.
I don't want you to know that I know
We
that
don't
I need help.
Ever want to feel that we need help, because if we need help, there's a problem and something's wrong. And that doesn't work. So at the end of the day, if you would like to learn how to leverage this process, go to rayperez360.com. Send me a message. Let me know that you heard me on Experience Pros, and we're going to go ahead and send you a video teaching you how to do all of this.
You know, you're so generous and able to give away this full process, and yet it's about building that relationship. And I see you wanting to build a relationship with our listeners, and our listeners would be smart to take you up on that and build that relationship. So folks, right now, go to rayperez360.com. And when you do, make sure that you tell them you heard about him right here on the Experience Pros radio show. Meanwhile, Angel and I will be back with Ray for one more segment. This is good stuff.
All right. Good job. Good job.